Good morning, everyone. Our subject is financial services, and our question is calculation of break-even lease rental. Calculation break-even lease rental. The break-even lease rental is the minimum lease payment the lessor needs to charge the lessee so that the lessor does not incur a loss. It ensures the lessor recovers all costs such as the cost of the assets, maintenance, interest, etc. and possibly earns a minimum required return. It means the break-even lease rental is the lowest amount the lessor must charge the lessee so they don't lose the money. It makes sure that the lessor covers all their costs, like buying the assets, maintenance, and the interest, and maybe even makes a small profit. In simple, it's the rent that keeps the lessor from losing their money. Next, formula for break-even rental. Break-even rental is equal to total fixed cost plus total variable cost divided by number of lease period. Next is how to calculate break-even lease rental. The calculation consider factors like first, cost of the assets, the purchase price or initial cost of the assets, which means the cost of the assets is the amount of the money spent to buy the asset or its initial price. Second point is interest or required rate of return. The profit or return the lessor accepts from the leasing the assets, which means interest or required rate of return is the profit the lessor wants to earn from the leasing the assets. It's the return they accept from their investment. Next, third point is lease period, total time for which the assets will be leased, which means the lease period is total time of the assets which will be returned out or used by the leasing. Fourth point is residual value, the value of the assets at the end of the lease term, if any, which means residual value is the worth of the asset at the end of the lease period, if it still has any value left. Next, steps to calculate. First step, calculate depreciation component. Divide the difference between the cost of the assets and its residual value by the lease terms. This ensures the cost of the asset is recovered, which means step 1, calculate depreciation component. Take the asset's cost, subtract its value and the end of the lease and divide the result by the lease period. This makes sure the cost of the assets is evenly recovered over the lease term. Step 2, add the profit component. Multiply the cost of the assets by the required rate of return, interest or profit rate. This ensures the lessor earns a profit or the return on the investment, which means step 2, add the profit component, take the cost of the asset and multiply it by the accepted profit or interest rate. This makes sure the lessor earn the desired profit from the lease. Step 3, combine both, add the depreciation component and the profit component to get the break-even rental. Means step 3, combine both, add the depreciation amount from step 1 and the profit amount from step 2. This total gives you the break-even lease rental minus the minimum amount the lessor needs to charge. Next example, cost of the assets is rupees 50,000, residual value is rupees 10,000, lease term is 5 years, required rate of return is 10%. Step 1, depreciation component. Depreciation component is equal to cost of assets is 50,000 minus residual value is 10,000 divided by the 5 years. Lease term is 5 years. So divided by 5 years is equal to amount will be 40,000. Then 40,000 divided by the 5 means the 5 years is equal to the answer will be rupees 8,000 per year. Next, depreciation component is equal to 5 years divided by bracket which is 50,000 minus 10,000 is equal to 5 40,000 is equal to rupees 8,000 per year. Step 2, profit component. Profit component is equal to 50,000 which is cost of the assets into 10% which is required rate of return is equal to 5,000 per year. Step 3, break-even lease rental. Break-even lease rental is equal to rupees 8,000 plus rupees 5,000 is equal to rupees 13,000 per year. Conclusion. In this example, the lessor needs to charge at least rupees 13,000 per year to break even. If the lease rental is higher than this amount, the lessor will be earn a profit. Next problem is, a company spends rupees 5 lakh on a machine. The machine should last 5 years according to the estimates. The following are the fixed annual cost of leasing the machine. Depreciation rupees 1 lakh, insurance rupees 10,000, rupees 5,000. Additionally, the company desires a return of 10% on the total investment. Calculate the break-even rental per year. Solution. First, calculate total fixed cost. Depreciation is 1 lakh rupees. Insurance is 10,000. Maintenance is rupees 5,000. So, total fixed cost is rupees 1,000 plus rupees 10,000 plus rupees 5,000 is equal to 1,15,000 rupees. Second, calculate desired return. Total investment is rupees 5 lakh. Desired ROI is equal to 10% of rupees 5 lakhs is equal to rupees 50,000. Third, calculate total cost. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost plus desired return. Total cost is equal to total fixed cost is 1,50,000 plus rupees 50,000 is equal to rupees 1,65,000. Fourth, calculate break-even rental. Lease term is 5 years. Break-even rental is equal to total cost divided by lease term. Break-even rental is equal to total cost is rupees
1,65,000 divided by lease term is 5 years is equal to rupees 33,000.